how do you keep up with all the things that you need to do to create your content? There's systems and workflows and processes that you have to do in order to create consistent content. How do you get it all to work? These are the questions I get asked all the time. So today I'm going to share with you 3 types of content workflows that you can think about introducing in your content. That way you have a better hold on what you're doing in your content every single week. So let's get right to it. Hey y'all, Crystal here today, and we are talking about the 3 types of content workflows that you need to know. So I'm just gonna jump right in because we have a lot to cover today. So number 1, the first type of workflow that you need to understand is a basic content creation workflow. That means, what does it take for you to create a podcast episode, a YouTube video, a social post, a weekly newsletter for your email list, or a blog post? Like, there's so many different ways that we can apply content creation workflows. But at the end of the day, all I'm talking about is a checklist or a PDF that says, do A, B, and C, then you do D. It's really simple, but you need something that says these are the things that are important to happen before you publish a piece of content. And the way that I got started back in the day was just writing everything down on a piece of paper. I turned it into a Google Doc, I printed it out, and I would look at it every time I was going to go publish a brand new episode of the Proffitt Podcast. This is my show. You can check it out. It's going to be linked in the video description, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't forgetting the important things that needed to happen. And while it started as something very simple, very basic, I eventually evolved it into something that included SEO and marketing and creating sound bites and making sure that I had relevant information in my show notes. It can absolutely start as something small and grow into something bigger over time. But if you are creating content right now, whatever type of content it is, you need to have a content creation workflow so that you know all the steps that need to happen before a new piece of content is published. So that is number 1. But I did want to share something else about content creation workflows, because what I see often is people just focusing on the content that they're going to be creating, like the step-by-step process. But I encourage you to go above and beyond that and look at, how can I make future content creation easier? And one of the ways that I do this is I will take screenshots on my phone or on my computer, and I save those for future pieces of content. So I have a system that's in place. It's in my Google Drive. You can see here I have my Google Drive organized, but I will put an idea for a YouTube video. I'll screenshot a comment that I see in our Facebook group or on Instagram or from a DM or an email reply that I get. So there's a constant flow of ideas that are coming at me to create my content, instead of me hunting and pecking all over the web trying to find ideas that I can serve to my audience. They are actively coming to me, and I want to have systems in place so that I can grab them and organize them in a way that will make my life easier. So that was the second thing I wanted to mention about content creation workflows. Now, let's move into batching. Batching workflows is the second type of content creation workflow that we need to talk about today. And it's the one that people are just like, I don't really know what that means. Like, I get it high level. Let me just break it down, demystify it all. Batching simply means that you are doing something, right? You're planning, you're recording, you're editing, scheduling, publishing, whatever it is, but it's doing it multiple times for multiple pieces of content in one sitting. You're doing one task. You're not going back and forth to, I'm going to plan a podcast episode, then I'm going to record it, then I'm going to edit it, then I'm going to schedule it and publish it and market it. You're not doing all of those things in one sitting. You're saying, okay, here we are. We're in the month of October whenever I'm recording this, and I'm looking out at October saying, What do I have on my content calendar? What can I batch for the next few weeks? I know the holidays are coming up. Do I have some holiday episodes that I need to record? Do I have some graphics that I can sit down and create all in one sitting instead of doing this in off chance little nuggets of time that I find here and there? Batching allows you to be more proactive with your content and schedule things. So whenever you do have that random hour free that you're like, oh my gosh, it's like the best gift in the world. Whenever you get the gift of time back, someone cancels a podcast interview, or all of a sudden, you find out you're going to have to wait in the car ride or line at school to pick up your kids. And you're like, what am I supposed to do for an hour? That's when you can do some strategic planning. It's whenever you can think about some of the ideas that you can do for your content in the future, but it's batching it all in one place. So I don't want you to just think that batching can only apply to recording or editing. It also applies to planning, marketing, being strategic with your content. So the second workflow is batching content workflow. And actually, I want to know, what questions do you have about batching? We have some great resources here already on the channel all about batching content, but I want to know. So tell me in the comments what questions you have about workflows, batching, content creation. Let me know in the comments. Okay, let's get back to the video. So the third workflow that we need to talk about today is repurposing content workflows. This is what people ask me about so much. They're like, how in the world were you publishing 3 YouTube videos, 2 podcast episodes, sending your weekly newsletter, and posting on Instagram every single day? Because that is what I did for over a year. I was creating around 10 pieces of content on a regular basis. I didn't even mention my daily show, The Potty Report, which I do Monday through Friday every single week. Like, it was a lot of content. I was creating a lot. And so people ask me all the time about repurposing. What does that look like? What does that mean? And this is another workflow that you need to have. If you're going to utilize repurposing in your content, if you're dreaming about, oh my gosh, I would love to get to the point of repurposing my content, then I want you to get on the wait list for my new program, Radical Repurposing. Or maybe you're watching this in the future and we've already launched, then I'm excited because this is the program I wish I would have had whenever I first started creating content. And I didn't know what batching was. I didn't have any workflows in anything. And I sure as heck didn't know what republishing content meant or what it could look like for my audience, for my platforms, and for my sanity. Oh my goodness. Like, repurposing is the thing that helps me save time. It helps me save money. It helps me save energy and effort. And it has just been a game changer for me. And I know that it can do the same for you. But at a high level, I really want you to think about repurposing as taking one piece of content from its original intended piece and then turning it into multiple pieces of content. So you're taking a podcast episode, for example, and you're turning it into a YouTube video or into transcriptions that you're going to use on a blog post or in your email newsletter, or use it for quotes for Instagram. There are so many ways. There are thousands of ways that you can think about repurposing content, but at its most basic level, you have to have a foundation in place for what you want that to look like, how it can work for you, what your audience wants to see whenever it comes to content. And Radical Repurposing, my brand new program, is going to help you do just that. So if you're watching this in real time, make sure that you get on the wait list for whenever doors open October 18th, 2022. I'm so excited about this. I've been creating this program for the last few months, and it's going to be incredible. I'm going to show you all the behind the scenes of what we just talked about. So if you're like, Crystal, I don't know how to batch, I don't know how workflows work at all, I don't have any checklist or anything, I got all of that for you. I have all of that for you already created inside this brand new program. And of course, I'm going to show you in depth how you can create a customized repurposing strategy for your content. So go to crystalproffitt.com/waitlist to get notified for whenever this brand new program drops. Again, it's called Radical Repurposing, and it's coming at you soon, and I cannot wait. But that's all I have for you today. So make sure you hit a thumbs up on this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe below. That way you don't miss our videos all about content creation, content strategy, and creating with confidence. Make sure you check out these other videos right here. And as always, remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere.